Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Shayness, and today we have a very simple video. Now this video I recorded last year and I could have sworn I released it, but I suppose I did not. So as some of you guys are aware, the first iteration of the Sonata N line came with LEDs pretty much everywhere, with a few minor exceptions. Now, unfortunately for the 2022 model, to cut costs, I know that in the taillights specifically, they've actually done away with some of the LEDs for just normal incandescent bulbs, which is unfortunate. However, this video is for those of you who just want to put LEDs all around. I'm going to show you what missing places you can add LEDs that didn't come from the factory. And again, apologies to the people that have 22 models on up, because I don't have that particular vehicle model to show you how to replace the taillights with LEDs, so I do apologize for that. But for those of you that are interested, this is going to be all the interior lights that we're missing and a few of the exterior lights that you could place LEDs. So let's get straight into it. Alright, so this video is actually going to be broken down into pieces because I'm going to do this in sections. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're actually going to go back here and we're going to replace the actual license plate lights to LEDs, because that's one of the few bulbs that wasn't given an LED for whatever reason. So we're going to go with these last fit LED lighting, and these ones in particular, if you're looking for the actual model number, this isn't the correct one, so I'm actually going to put it on screen because I want to show you guys the actual bulb. But essentially they're a little small and they are also CAN bus compatible, so you shouldn't throw any error codes. Not that I think license plate lights will have that issue, but it's really hot today. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm gonna get down here and I'm gonna burn my butt to show you guys. All right guys, so I'm gonna try to show you this quickly because one of the neighbors is weed whacking. But essentially, you see right here, you're gonna want a flathead screwdriver, and you see there's a little indentation. You actually pull, so you actually go in here, be careful with your paint. There's literally enough gap, you pull, oh, got clipped back in there, but you're gonna see, you're gonna pull, and then just kind of gently pull out. So I'm literally just pushing in the clip and then pulling out slowly, and as you see, it just comes out. And then of course you could just unclip this and twist it out. I'll show you on this side, but literally you have them both dangling out after you take it out. To better show you, since it's out, you would put the screwdriver in here, the flathead, right here where my thumb's at, push it in. This is a little kind of like tension. You push it in and then slowly yank out. And then to put it back in, you're gonna do the exact opposite, but I'll show you in a moment. All right, so once out, literally you unclip it from the connector that it was being held onto. Super easy. Twist this off, exposes the bulb. We're just gonna remove the bulb. And then of course replace it with the LED. All right, now real quick, be careful. These LEDs, even though they look like they're omnidirectional, they're actually directional. I have no idea which way, so we're gonna insert it first, and then we're gonna plug it back in up here to this connector before we put it back, and we're gonna see if it lights up. So the easiest way to do this is by actually unlocking your doors, since I believe it lights up all the doors. Give me a second. All right, so we're plugged back in, and I'm literally just gonna test it out, see if this lights up. All right, so you had to lock it and then unlock it, but as you can see, this one's shining, much like the other one. So that means that we inserted the bulb the correct way, the right orientation. So we're gonna put this back together and clip it back in. Lastly, you're gonna ask, how do you clip this back in? You're actually gonna do it the exact opposite direction of the way you took it out. So this clip part will actually go in last. You see how there's these little teeth indentations? I should probably put it out. You see how there's these little teeth indentations? Those are gonna go in first, and it's kind of dark, so can't really see well, but you're gonna put that side in first, teeth in, and then just essentially push this until you hear the clip. And as you can see, voila, it's in there. So now we're gonna do the exact same thing to this. And again, just to repeat, if you're having problems removing this side right here, the outsides, for the driver's side, it's gonna be on the left side. For the passenger side, it's gonna be right there on the right side. Easiest way is to stick in your flathead screwdriver, literally right here where my finger's at, push this in, and then slowly pull out. All right, so this is how you do the reverse light, and I probably should have done this before I lowered the vehicle, but you see that clip right here? So first of all, let me show you where I'm at. I'm underneath, right next to the exhaust, and this is the stock exhaust. So let's do this the lazy way. I'm not trying to lift up the car, but there's this little gap right here from the tip to the actual muffler, as you can see, And if you get down there, you start looking up, you see this clip right here. And forgive me for the background noise of the weed whacker, but I'm trying to educate you guys. So you see this clip right here? That's the clip to the backup light. And that's one of the components that did not come with an LED for whatever reason. And because of where it's located, it's kind of a pain to get to. So I did manage to disconnect it. I'm going to do that right now. Just unplug it real quick and I'm gonna show you. All right, so you can barely see it, but I did unplug it, and then same thing, just like any other bulb, you twist and then pull out, and out comes this, which is the bulb connector, which we're about to replace right now. I messed up. The actual license plate lights were not directional, so I am praying that these aren't either, because in order to test these, I have to add power and put the car in reverse. And considering I'm really close to the exhaust, I don't really feel like burning myself today. So let's put the LED bulb that I have for these and pray that it works first try. So here's a clear view of why it's a pain. It's really low. It's like right here, right above the exhaust. It looks super clean as far as the car is concerned, but pretty hard design. Anyways, these are the LED bulbs that we're using for the backup lights. And again, I'll put the part number because this one is not the actual bulb number itself. So this is what we're replacing it. More last fit goodies. All right, so this is what our new LED chip bulb looks like. So now time to get back down there and install this thing and then do the same for the other side. And I'm just hoping that the other side is as easy as, well, I mean, let me rephrase that. It wasn't quite easy, but let's hope it's as simple as the initial one was. So as you can see, the bulb connector is back in there, and the little, you see it, the red socket is reconnected back in there. Here, I was actually able to, so this is a better angle, so let me show you what I initially did. All right, so that whole connector is back in there. Now I just need to plug the socket back, which is hanging right there. So you're gonna hear a clip. There you go, and then there you go. The power source is connected back to the plug, and then of course, like I said, make sure to twist it to make sure that it's locked properly. Now time to go over yonder and do the exact same thing. All right, so we have to turn on the car to test it out, but look at that. LED light back there, it works nice and fine. And then this is still the nasty yellow halogen. We're gonna replace it. All right, and now this side is replaced. One thing to note real quick is that you will not hear a clip or a click once you turn and tighten the bulb back in its socket. It just won't move anymore. It'll be very soft, just in place, locked, but you will hear a click when you reconnect the connector. So there's that. So we have LEDs here, and now functional LEDs here, LED here, and LED there. All right, there's just one more replacement that we have to do. All right, so we're in the trunk now because there's more LED bulbs that we have to focus on, like this one right here. So this one actually has a little clip right here. So just get your finger in there. Again, sorry, I have big fingers. But if you got nails, you just insert, pull out. Let's do that real quick. All right, success. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna unplug it right here, wait for the bulbs to cool off a little bit before you remove. You don't wanna burn your hands. Let's get to it. So this one's a little bit of a pain because you see these clips right here. You have to insert something like, I don't know, this little body gap tool, and essentially push down on both of these and then pull out, and it eventually comes out. So it exposes the bulb. And then of course, to get the bulb out, you can push back on this, and then there you go. And then you'll just replace it with the new one. Also, I should have mentioned earlier, but you're gonna need this type of bulb. They're classified as DE3175 or 31mm Festoons. These are by Oxido. I've used this brand before, so I kind of trust it by now. But I say you're gonna need a few of these because there's two more interior lights that use this same style and size bulb. And so this is a pack of 4. We're using one here, 2 inside, so you'll have one left over just in case one's faulty or whatnot. So because the cover is such a pain to remove, also just friendly reminder, make sure that the heatsink is facing you when it's inside like that, so the actual chips themselves are actually facing down the way it's supposed to light up. Also, you'll notice that it's kind of bent, and the reason being is that even though this is the right size LED bulb, they are actually slightly larger than the OE bulb. As you can actually, let me just use one of the extras so you can see. So as you can see, they look identical. The only difference is that this has more of a curved dome shape. This has a pointier end, so it's actually that slight of a difference that this one seats easier than the LED chip. So there's that. Also, probably before putting the back cover on, you may want to just actually connect this in to make sure that it's actually working. So it's kind of hard to do this with my hands by itself, but as you can see, it's illuminating, so we're good. All right, so now we're plugged back in, and then of course we're just gonna insert this the exact same way we took it out. Always make sure that the connector side goes in first, and then clipped on beautifully. And I guess we should try it out at nighttime. All right, the last ones we have to do are actually inside. So as you can see, I'm in the driver's seat. I've already done the passenger side, but it is these because these are the only ones that weren't LED as opposed to everything else. One cool thing I didn't mention is, at least in the Oxido brand bulbs, that little 4-pack, came with a little tool, as you can see right here. It's actually really handy. Okay, the way that I'm doing this is kind of helpful for me at least. You actually want to start off on whatever side the switch is on, just because the connector is typically on the opposite end. So I'm actually going to use this little tool, and as you can see, very easy already. Starts come prying off, so, oh, voila. And like I said, there's a connector, so you'll disconnect it, and then as you can see, this bulb is pretty jammed in there as is already. It's going to be even tighter with the LED chip, so you'll see in a moment. But this is much easier. You don't have to worry about it removing a cover. It's quite literally just the bulb itself. And as always, remember, heatsink top, bulb facing the actual clear portion. So let's do that. So just to show you how badly bent it's going to be, you can see it's like really badly arched. And this side actually got a little kinked, so just keep in mind that's what you got to go through. But testing it out, works fine. You probably don't use these that often anyways. So again, just slide in, connect your side first, then push this in and test it out once more, and you're all set. The only last thing I want to say is that sometimes you'll notice the actual roof liner kind of popping out, so you could just use the same tool to just kind of poke it back in, and then just, you know, well, there you go. Clean. So now we have bright LEDs all around interior, the trunk, the backup lights, the plate lights. So we'll show you everything wrapped up now. All right, so this is a really quick nighttime video. I'm going to show you the difference with the LEDs basically installed. So these are the license plate lights, and as you can see, they're doing a great job. However, they are quite bright, so I'm gonna focus on the floor. I know for some people, for whatever reason, they don't like that whole like extra lighting. I know that Sylvania makes these LED bulbs, which I'll post a link to, and I'll put a description in the video, where they're bright enough for the plate, but not bright enough that they'll shine lights on the floor. So just FYI, especially if you're lowered, you're gonna be leaving a trail of light. Now I'm gonna try to put it in reverse real quick, so give me 2 seconds. All right, now I had to get some assistance, hence why the brake lights are on, because you can't put this into gear even in accessory. But there you go. As you can see, super bright. There's the other side. You can definitely see them from afar, much cleaner than before. And unfortunately I would show you without the brakes, but I really don't want the car moving right now. But it does kind of, because these are so bright, it does illuminate a little bit towards the back. Unfortunately you see the red from the actual brake LEDs, but the backup LED bulbs do illuminate a little bit, which is actually nice because you can actually see it from the inside on the actual backup camera. So it's actually kind of helpful, on top of the fact that it's pretty nice and clean to see a nice bright white light. All right, so it's nighttime, we're inside the car. I wanted to be in here because I wanted to show you what the LEDs look like on the inside. So we're gonna look at the stock LEDs that are already installed as opposed to the ones that we put in. So, and by the way, that's not as bright as you see it on the camera. The camera does a beautiful job of amplifying the ambient auxiliary lights. So as you can see, when you press this, here, I'll turn it off. Ooh, darkness. When you press this, this actually turns on all the lights in the car. You can of course turn them on individually by pressing each light, which is kind of cool, but turning all of them on in the car turns that on. And then of course you have the LEDs on the side, because as you know, this vehicle has the panoramic sunroof, whatever. So there's not like a center light, but we upgraded these. So, ooh. So it is a little brighter than the rest of them, no matter what, but you get the idea. You got LEDs all around, so pretty neat. Nice little upgrade to have. Yeah, all in all, pretty, I love it. Silly me, I almost forgot the trunk LED that we upgraded. So this is at nighttime, so you can see, you clearly have so much more light, so you can actually see what's in here. And I'm just gonna duck down so you guys can see it. There you go, it's outputting rather nicely, rather bright. So yeah, LED upgrades, definitely worth it. Well guys, that about wraps up the video. Thank you so much. I know this is definitely an easy video, very simple, but some of you that weren't aware probably just didn't notice that some of these components weren't already rocking LED lights. This might be educational, and of course, hopefully this helps you figure out how to do it, especially because I know the reverse lights, for example, were a little tricky, even more so if you noticed once the car's lowered. So as always guys, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for all the love and support. Definitely promise you that there will be more exciting videos to come, but starting off the new year with something simple. Again guys, stay safe out there, keep doing you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.